Do I hit go live?
Welcome to another show of the Champagne Conversations. I'm your girl LaDonna with Nikki and Kim. What's up, ladies?
Hey, hey.
Hey, how are y'all?
Well, to my right is my 2-year-old son until I get my babysitter to come get him. Say hi, Tariq.
That's right.
Yes. I'm just gonna put this up. I got my glass ready. It's water. That good old aqua.
Mine is not water.
Minus some juice because I'm
Yes.
on meds.
Yeah. Yeah. But tonight, we are going to be talking about 8 different forms of abuse. Um, I want to put this disclaimer out there. We are not therapists, but we did do our research. We have probably, lived through it in some type of way. And we want to help you all that might be in a situation. You might not even know it because I was just talking to Dex and I said, a lot of people only probably know about physical, sexual, and mental.
Yeah.
They probably don't know that there are so many different other abuses out there. And that's why I thought this is a great topic. I'm glad that Kim thought of this topic. This means dear to her. So if her, me, Nikki, one of us gets choked up, just let us be for a minute. Um, but I'm gonna post something real quick and show people what saved our girl Kim. This is a wheel. And Kim, I want you to tell everybody how this saved you.
All right. This wheel right here literally saved my life because, like she said, most of us learn mental, sexual, and physical abuse. I when I looked at this, I was like, oh my God, I'm going through most of this. Most of the things on this wheel I went through for years. Isolation, I was away from my family, mostly with his, minimizing and denying and blaming every time I would bring something up or tell him that he was wrong or did something, it was minimized. It made it seem like I was the one that was tripping about something that's really not that big. And he also did use the children. He used them a lot. I would say something, I would tell him that things are wrong, and well, what kind of example are you showing for your children? And they want to get married, and you're trying to throw in the towel, and you're not showing them a example of what a woman is supposed to be and how a wife is supposed to act, things like that. And when I actually did tell him, no, I want a divorce, I'm leaving, he literally called the girls up front and he told them, he was like, well, your mom doesn't want us to be happy anymore. She wants a divorce. She's going to leave the family. And I'm just letting y'all know now, if she leaves, then I'm just going to kill myself. And he did that right, called a family meeting and said that right in front of the children. And yeah, he used intimidation all the time. Um, Threats. He used threats all of the time. He was going to come up to my job and that, well, you're the only one that's working, and how are we going to survive and move this and move that, and you're not acting right, and I that I'll come up there and I will act up, things like that. He, whew, it was a lot. It was a lot. And like the only thing that I really knew about was physical. He was not hitting me because I like to cut. And it was mostly emotional and financial, which we will go into later on into the show, and I could elaborate more on that. And whew, it was a lot. So This subject is near and dear to me because I went through so much, and when I seen this wheel, it like knocked me to the ground because I was like, oh my God, this wheel was like my life. This is what I went through almost on a daily basis.
Thank you for sharing your story.
Oh yeah.
You can call in. The number is scrolling right at the bottom. But let's go ahead and start and talk about our first topic. The first one is physical abuse. Um, Physical abuse is like any bodily harm, slapping, pinching, choking, anything that you don't want. And it doesn't have to leave a bruise because that's what somebody's going to say. Well, it didn't leave a bruise. If you feel like it's abuse. Nikki, you got anything to add?
Um, this one is the one that's hard for me because I didn't live through it as a victim myself, but I watched my mother go through her second marriage. So me and my sister were really, really young, and it was nightmares that her second husband did to her, and that we witnessed. So for me, I don't. It's different for everybody. Some people go through a cycle. Like sometimes the mom goes through it, and then the daughter goes through the same thing because she saw it and witnessed it, and maybe she thinks it's okay because mom never left. It was different for me. Um, I don't know if because I saw it myself, that is like the one thing that was no tolerance for me. Um, Now, emotional, we'll get to that later on because
Hmm.
that one was harder to get away from. But physical abuse is my one thing that is I have absolutely no tolerance for. And I think it's because I was so close to it and witnessed my mom going through it, and she almost lost her life. So for me, that one's really hard because you can't imagine. I mean, as a kid who was really really young, I want to say maybe 5 or 6, that young, and my sister was even younger than me. So I mean, just you don't. There's no understanding like why. Um, so yeah, just I any signs. You don't even have to hit me. If there is any signs that you want to or you're going to, this is the wrap. Um, So yeah, it's different for everybody, but I can't. That's my one thing. You do that, and it's over.
Yeah, I'm a product of it. So, and when I mean a product, if my mom is watching, um, she lived through this. I watched her live through this. Um, we didn't talk about it until I was older. That's when she realized that I saw too much as a kid. And ever since then, I decided I am never, ever going to allow myself to be in that situation. And like you said, once I kind of even saw something that I thought might be, I just left.
Mm-hmm.
Um, this wasn't no like, hey, let's talk about this and let's figure it out. No, I just didn't even try to figure it out. I dipped. Um, I was only probably like one person, but it was too much. It was like I said, it was too much. But I was gone. Um, but Kim, I know you spoke on it. Do you have any more to add to this? because I want to help. I want to post some numbers after you're done. If people know somebody to help them call.
Um, Physical abuse is something that I witnessed as a child, and I was abused myself. I was. Some people call it whooping. Nah, baby, I was beat. No, punched in the face, beat with objects, shovels, whatever could be lifted. I was the one that was the motherfucker that got hit with another motherfucker. That was me. So I went through that. So when I grew up, I was like, no one will ever
Mhm.
put their hands on me because I didn't play that. And but I ended up in a situation where I was abused in other ways that was not physical. It was
Mhm.
like I had said, we're only taught about physical
Mhm.
and mental. You're dumb, you're this, you're that. We were taught
Mhm.
that. We weren't taught about the other abuses. So that's why I say that's when I seen that wheel. I was just like, this isn't something that we're not taught. So physical abuse, that's a no for me also. You Now we can argue all day long. You ain't gonna argue with me too long either. But
Mm.
I will take that over somebody putting their hands on me. And I
Almost
just knew
definitely.
that right there, that's a no for me. Like I will pick up everything that I have and I will leave. Because I already know that it's not gonna get any better. All that, oh I'm sorry, and then buying something and then a couple of months later he back knocking you across your head. It's just a cycle. It's a cycle that will never stop. And so I was like, I would never put myself into that cycle to even go through that. Because then you're going from physical and mental all in the same thing, just wrapped up in the same thing.
Okay. I just want to post this up, and then we will get to the caller. Um, if you know somebody or might be in the situation yourself, yes, it's not just the abuse hotlines. I want you to see all the numbers. Because to me, most of these, besides unfortunately the suicide, most of them are abuse or something is abusive has happened. Um, but I want you to know all the numbers. Um, we do have a caller on the line. Go ahead, caller. No, what happened to our producer? Well, while we're waiting, we are gonna.
Your producer is here.
Yes,
Caller, you're on the air.
Hi, how you going? How's everyone doing?
I'm doing
good. How are
fine.
you?
Good.
Well, this is Michael Anthony Linson. I'm calling in to kind of give you guys a backstory on myself, and this is an issue from a man's standpoint. Um, Kind of go along the lines. I've never been one to be, as far as physicality is concerned, I've never allowed anybody to kind of get to me in that or attack me in that type of way. But there's, and this is something that I want a lot of women to understand. And this is may go the wrong way, but I think this needs to be said is that a lot of the reasons why we're quote unquote hearing a lot about, certain demographics of people, leaving and, let me just be straightforward. All right, this Champagne comes to a district and prohibited network. And we've heard this before. Why is he leaving a black girl for a white girl? Why is a white girl, a white man going to black? One of the reasons why is a lot of times you hear a lot of these issues where women just don't know how to talk to me. Don't know how to talk to me. Completely being aggressive verbally is absolutely torture for any type of man. A lot of men will not admit this, but it's absolutely torture. No man wants to hear how stupid he is. Nobody wants to hear, you can't do shit right. You're a piece of shit. You're a low down piece of you're a low down dirty piece of crap. This is something that I heard all the time. And from a man standpoint, I'm not one to cry and you know tuck my head between my legs and whatnot. But those types of things coming from a woman, and a lot of men hold their mother, their sister, their cousins in high regards. So when you hear that from a woman, a man hear that from a woman, a child hear that from a woman, it cuts deep. And I don't think a lot of women realize how deeply it can cut. So I guess what I'm saying to not only just, women in general, but black women, Hispanic women, um, a lot of minorities have to understand that you have to be really, softer, a lot softer. And I know that's difficult being minorities and whatnot because we have a lot to deal with. But when you're dealing with a man, he has a lot of things coming against him in the world. And the last thing that he needs is to hear his woman, regardless of what he's doing wrong, regardless of that. You can't, anything, if you want your man to do better, you want your child to do better, don't call him names. Don't say that he's a piece of shit. He's never going to do this. He's never going to get this right. Like that does nothing to make the situation better. So I think what it all comes down to, if you don't if you don't like to hear that for yourself, why would you say that to the next person, and especially the one that you claim to love, to care for? Got to get better at doing those situations. So that's something that I would say for a lot of women is that your words cut deeply, and more so than you may ever realize.
And
Your
we're going
words
to talk
cut
about
deeply.
we are going to talk about
So
words and emotional.
um, I'll leave with that, but that's something that I want a lot of women to to totally understand. Yes, we can take a lot. No, we don't cry a lot. A lot of guys don't cry. Like I don't cry. I really don't cry. Takes it really takes a difficult and a tragic situation for me to even get to the brink of that. But if anything, for what I said, I want women to truly understand that their words are powerful.
Of course.
You have the powerful, you have the gift to destroy him and build him. And I hope a lot of women choose, instead of beating them down with your words, ignore mistakes, don't forget them, but ignore the mistakes and just truly, just learn to,
Okay.
yeah, just learn to just build them up with your words. Because like I said, a lot of women, I know I'm going in circles, but a lot of women need to understand that. They
And
truly need
we
to
are going to
understand.
talk
So
about it.
I
Yes.
I I will leave you with that, but I will continue to listen to you. Um, love the show, but please, women, understand your words are powerful. You're
Yes.
already the gift, the bearer of life. You create life. We would not be here if it weren't for you guys. So you have so much power with your words, your body, and spirit. Please use it the right way. Please use it the right way. And that's it.
Well, thank you for calling.
Thank you so much.
I'm actually glad because I don't want people to get the wrong idea about this show.
Hmm.
I don't want people to think, oh, they're man bashing. That's all
Nope.
this show is about.
No,
That's not what this is about at all. Because
no.
abuse is a two-way street. It's not just males that hand out abuse. There are
Women do it
also
just
men
as well.
that hand out abuse as well. Physical, mental, sexual, the whole nine.
Yeah,
So
and most of the
he
times
brought
that's
up the
swept
right
under the
point.
rug
I want people to
because
understand
men
that
are
we're not
embarrassed.
just pointing at one gender. That's not what this is
Exactly.
about. So thanks, Mike.
Yeah, I say abuse has no gender. Um I see Meek's topic, I mean his comment on the
Hmm.
side, and he said let's speak about verbal abuse. Well, we do. We are going to speak about verbal.
Yes.
But before we speak about verbal, we are going to speak about sexual. Like I said before, if you're just now tuning in, we're not just going to talk about physical, sexual, mental. We're going to talk about some other ones too. We had eight. We talked about one. We already talked about physical abuse. We have seven more different abuse. Like I said, it's not just your typical sexual, physical, mental. That's it. No, we're
No.
going deep, needy, greedy, because some of this, like I said, it might be you doing it, yourself to
Right, and
yourself.
don't even know it.
Mm.
Uh, um, so there's one that we are talking about cyber, cyber dating, and that's something that we kind of need to talk about nowadays because more and more you're finding your mate from online instead of face to face, and you might not realize you're in a abusive relationship online. So let's go ahead and talk about sexual abuse.
Yes.
um Sexual abuse in any shape, form, fashion is just wrong. um Most people, when they're sexually abused, men or women, because there are men out there have been sexually abused, they feel guilty, they feel anger, um
Yes.
they feel ashamed, they're scared to talk, they're
And they're
scared.
also afraid that they'll be blamed
Exactly.
because there's a lot of victim blaming
Mm-hmm.
that goes on, and that also is wrong. And one thing that some people, I get into this argument all the time, married people, a husband and a wife,
Mm-hmm.
are able to be raped. If you are a wife and you say no, not tonight, and your husband has sex with you anyway, that is rape. No matter if you are married or not, that is not consensual. If a man says he does not want to have sex and the wife wants it, she either takes it or uses coercion in order to make him have sex with her, that is rape, even if you are married, because it is non consensual. Let's go and put that out there. Y'all can have a healthy debate about it. Y'all can say what y'all want, but in the court of law, somebody getting them chains, because that is considered rape. I'm just gonna put that out there. Because that's confusing. Oh, if you're married, you can't rape your spouse. Yes, you can.
Mm-hmm.
It has been done. It was done to me. So yes, it can
I,
be
j-
done.
I just saw Betsy's comment, and I really wanted Betsy to watch this. I sent it to her directly. As a domestic violence and rape survivor of 15 years, now an advocate, abuse happens in so many forms, men and women. One of those forms is what we do to ourselves internally, and we are so abusive to ourselves. We did talk about domestic violence, but like I said, we are talking about sexual right now. I just mentioned that we do abuse ourselves, and we're going to get to that a little bit later. But thank you for listening. Um, I'm going to put Meek's comment up when we get
To that part.
to that part when it comes to verbal, because what he said is huge.
And thank
Um,
you for that,
and
Mix.
thank you
Thank you
for
so much.
yeah, thank you for chiming in. Because we want more men to listen to us. It's not like I said, men bashing.
Right.
Um, but a sexual abuse story that I just read, and I sent y'all the story. This hurt. Uh, St. Charles, Missouri. 11-year-old girl has a baby in her bathtub. A boy takes the baby to the hospital. The baby still has the placenta, the umbilical cord, and the baby's temperature was 90 degrees. He tried to say the baby was just dropped off at his front step. That was, of course, wasn't true. So they started doing some investigating, and they talked to the boy. There was 3 people arrested: a boy, an older man, and I think an older woman. The boy was 17. It was incest. He admitted to having sex with this girl over 100 times.
Wow.
Yeah.
And it hurts because she didn't have nobody to protect her from this sexual abuse. They arrested all 3. Um, the dad, I'm not for sure if it's their dad, but the dad in the situation, the older man in the situation, is here illegally. So he's going to probably be held until he gets deported back to Mexico. Um, but this girl's about to be alone,
Scared.
confused, hurt. Like they did a number on this poor child. Like majority of these abuses that we're going to be talking about, this 11-year-old has went through it already. And this is why this show is so important, because you want to save the next woman, even child, cousin, friend, whatever, from this happening to. If we can reach one person tonight and make their night better and realize this is not what I need,
We'll
or
save
even
the
if it's a
life.
kid, even if it's a child witnessing it or living through it and they're seeing us on YouTube and they hear this, I feel like we conquered the world.
We have. Just saving that one life, we saved their world because it's hard out here. It really is. And
I need an update on her. Like, man,
right,
Yeah,
it,
I would love to know. I just saw the parents before we got on air.
did the baby make it or was the baby?
The baby's still alive from what I'm hearing. The baby is alive.
Mm-mm-mm.
Um,
yeah, God, I want updates on that because a lot of my friends have been sharing that.
mhm.
'Cause I think
And
I've seen it a few times on my timeline.
mhm. And that's what you would think. You would think somebody would kill this person, but they allowed this.
Yeah,
They allowed this. Um, the major issue with sexual abuse, especially child abuse, is many people keep these things in the closet. Families that for generations take these secrets to the grave. It's a shame.
yeah,
And it's true. Meeks, like
it
you
is
nailed
very true.
this right on the head, because I just found out that it went on my dad's side of the family. There was some things that went on when my aunt was younger. Like one of my older aunts when she was younger. So this had to be like 70s,
Yeah.
early 80s.
And it still goes on.
Mm-hmm.
And I really don't want to say the black community, but I can only speak for black community.
Yeah, well, that was my
And
black side. I was speaking
it
for.
goes on.
Mm-hmm.
Uncles and aunts
Mm-hmm.
molest nieces and cousins, on grandfathers molesting their own grandchildren, their own children, and the child will tell. And the first thing they say is, "Well, don't say nothing." Or just tell them to just pray about it, or don't even believe them,
Mm-hmm.
or they won't say anything because that person is the provider for the family. And if they go to jail, then they can't live any longer. They can't live there anymore. They can't pay the bills. They can't do this because that person is the breadwinner. So they sweep it under the rug and tell the child don't say anything. And that messes that child up
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
because now who are they to trust? They came to you for help and
Yep.
told you that X, Y, and Z is doing this to them. And you protect that person instead of protecting that child. That needs to stop.
Mm-hmm. It
That is
does.
killing our children.
Yep.
We need to stop that. Like yesterday, we need to stop that.
It is,
Bec-
and I will go. Sorry about that. I was reading this. It is. I wouldn't say that it is a widespread spread
It
issue.
is a
It
widespread
is.
issue, but
It
I can only
is
speak on what the stories that I have been told, the stories that I have
exactly, and
seen.
exactly.
Y'all know what's
Um.
really mind-boggling to me is
Yes.
we as people hold celebrities at a higher standard than we do our own family members.
It.
Girl,
I
say it
am
again.
so sick and
Say it
tired
again.
of seeing 50,000 opinions about R. Kelly or Dwayne Wade or all these celebrities that don't even know you exist. You're so eager to let the world know about your opinion on what celebrities do. What about your uncle and them?
Exactly.
The
I,
uncle
I
you
don't
know that
understand
mess with
why
everybody.
it's so important to talk about celebrities and what they're doing. No, let's talk about the people in your own family.
Yeah.
Can we start there, please?
I'm going to put your sister's comment up, Nikki. You want to read it?
Very true. My biological father molested me when I was only 7. It definitely damaged me, and I'm still dealing with it. My mom never did anything about it. All I can say is seek Jesus and therapy because without it, you will want to commit suicide. I saw a meme today. It said people don't commit suicide to end their life, they do it to end the pain, and it's very painful. Even as an adult, all I know is Jesus is a healer of pain, drugs, and alcohol. Do not help it. It makes it worse. Hmm.
You hear that, and like I told Dex, when you hear stories like that, and I'm glad she went on the great path. She's a great mom, educated, living her life to the fullest. But then you understand if people become a drug addict, or you understand how people become an alcoholic because you're trying to
Deaden the
hide that
pain.
pain.
They're
Trying
trying
to
to cope
deaden it.
and
Yeah.
don't use anything drugs, sex, alcohol.
Mhm.
Don't use addiction literally to try to cope with that stuff because you got to do something. You can't just sit there and wallow in it because you'll drive yourself crazy. So
Mhm.
people tend to addiction to try to deal with the pain, and it's only temporary.
Yep. Um I do want to help, like I said, um like we spoke before and said, try to speak to someone that you trust. Um even And if you have, you go to your family and they don't believe you, you might have to go outside of that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You might have to
You have
call
to
a
seek
hotline,
help
find
somewhere
us,
else.
find a counselor, find a support group, um, call the police. You might have to do this. I watched Maury, not Maury, Dr. Phil. Watched Dr. Phil that's long ago. And this whole situation, this girl said her stepfather abused her for years. Nobody believed her. It torn the family. The only person that believed her was her biological brother, her stepbrother, his stepsister, which obviously was their father, and mother did not believe her.
I saw that episode. That was crazy.
It was crazy because she
That
took
was
a poly,
crazy.
she took a polygraph
She
and
even
passed
showed
it
text messages between them.
and passed it. Her father is in jail right now, and they hate her for this. They wouldn't have put him in jail if they didn't find anything. Let's start there.
Right.
Exactly.
But two, she passed the polygraph, and the first thing her mother said was, she could pass that. This is your child,
Mhm.
your oldest biological. So, like I said, if you can't go to your parent,
Go somewhere else,
Go somewhere
please.
else.
Please go somewhere else. They have precincts in the mall.
exactly.
You can go to the mall. They usually have precincts either by the bank or in the lower levels. There is a precinct, even if it's not a big one, there's precincts at the mall. You can find some place
Yes.
to find some help.
And Betsy, I get, and that's what we're about to get to next. Um, when abusers wear you down, and it comes to that mental verbal, because they'll play mind games.
Every day.
They will play some serious, serious mind games. They will deny, call you crazy. Last night, like I said, I was doing some research and I found this, and if you're out there listening, you could tell me if this is true. Gaslighting. It's a form of emotional abuse that abusers use to maintain power
They
and
make it seem like
control.
you crazy.
Yep, make a victim questioning her memories. No, and I won't say her because it's her or him
Mm-hmm.
or their mind, or maybe more likely to feel dependent on the abuser and stay in the situation. Like I said, manipulators know, and that's what I call those people that control your mental and physical. They know what to say, they know what to do.
They know what buttons to push. They know all that.
I have a friend that she didn't believe she was abused. And I kept telling, because she only thought, well, he's not hitting me, baby doll. There's more than that.
Mm-hmm.
He is mentally abusing you. Well, why you say that? Okay, let me break this down to you. You confront him on a situation that you know he lied about, and he flipped it, turned it back around, and made you think like you lost your mind. Like you just saw what the picture you saw of the
Was
lie wasn't the truth. Like,
I got a I
Accurate.
got a story for that. I got contacted by a woman's husband. Husband told me what kind of car I drove. Everything. He comes and picks her up in a white HR. told me what side of town I lived on, told me what the walls in my house looked like. And when I confronted this Negro and told him, oh, everybody knows what kind of car we drive. I posted on Facebook. Anybody can say that. I take pictures inside the house. Anybody can say what the walls and stuff look like. Oh, they just out to get me because they don't like me. Negro, you ain't nobody. Like every time I could confront him with screenshots. Oh, they lied. Oh, that's just a small part of the conversation. That ain't what we was talking about. So I can't read.
Mm-hmm.
So my eyes are lying to me. So this man who said you messing with his wife told me what kind of car I drive, what side of
Mm-hmm.
town I live on, told me what my house looked like. But he's lying. He's lying. He's lying. So yeah, that mental that's real, and that was towards the end of the marriage because I had stopped him from because he knew my passwords. I changed all my passwords.
Mm.
Like I would look on my block list and like people would be added to my block list I don't know nothing about. So basically, he was screwing folks over, and they try to get in contact with me. He would block them. And so yeah,
That part right there, that's going to go to our digital too.
yeah, I got some stories for that digital one too.
Betsy said, gaslighting, yes, it creates a trauma bond, releases endorphins that make you addicted to that abuser. Um, my girl was with her dude for close to 15 years. And it finally took some conversations with several people and her children for her to finally realize this is not what I need. Um, Meeks put it happened to me by an older woman who wasn't a family member when I was 8. Um, I didn't know what was happening, so I never spoke up about it. I was a kid. I'm not for sure if he's speaking about verbal or sexual. I'm hoping it's verbal because you never want to hear about sexual. Um, but let us know, Meeks. Um, Nikki, you got anything to add on mental?
Um, Not other than I've been through the mental myself, and it's what it all boils down to is just another form of control. They sense a weakness and they exploit that. Because I was all kinds of fat and ain't nobody gonna want me, so I better not leave because I'll just end up alone with kids,
I
blah
heard that too.
blah blah. So yeah, it's all just another means to control you because it's not you that it's not a reflection of you, and I think that's what people tend to forget because at the time I wasn't thinking, oh no, my self-esteem was zero. I had none. So you really do start to believe what you're being told. Well, maybe I am fat. Maybe no one will want me. Maybe I shouldn't leave. I should just stay. It's all about control and just wiping out any type of self-esteem that you have. So it's it's crazy. You have to love yourself first.
And
Otherwise,
that's what starts happening. You stop loving yourself.
Yeah. Because, oh, child, I was a totally different person.
You stop caring about yourself.
Hmm.
And it's like, I'm nothing. You
That's how you
start
feel.
feeling like nothing.
Mm-hmm. If you're just tuning in, this is Champagne Conversations with Nikki, LaDonna, and
And
Kim.
Kim,
We are talking about different types of abuse. Um, this is a very touchy subject. So if you're just tuning in, please hear us out because I know we're on Mad Mike's channel and they're used to basically all sports.
Sports.
all
You know,
right.
we're going to change it up just a little bit, just for one day out of the week. Um, Betsy, you're fine.
Betsy, I can go
Um,
on
Don't be
all night
sorry.
too.
don't be sorry, you're fine. This is
At
why
all. You
I
are good,
tried to
love.
find. This is why I wanted you. I'm going to find Meek's original comment about this, but when Nikki was talking, Betsy posted this, and it almost sounded like Nikki was reading Betsy's comment.
Right. And that's what's so crazy.
Um,
Bring
what?
Becky's comment back up.
Yeah.
Mm. Yep. Second guessing yourself. You know you're right, but they convince you
Yeah.
you're wrong. Even have the
Mm-hmm.
audacity to say you're crazy. And you start believing it like maybe I am
Yep.
Right.
crazy.
Like maybe I am tripping. Maybe it is my
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
fault.
It's
Maybe I shouldn't have said nothing.
it's
What
manipulation
happened?
of your mind.
Yes. Yes. Bring a producer. Bring that comment back from Meek. I'm sorry if you can find it.
The other one.
The major issue was sexual abuse. No, there was another one, and he was talking about
What happened to him?
what happened.
Yeah.
Yes, if we're gonna talk about physical, we might as well speak about verbal. Because I promised I would go back, and he said he would witness both as a child from both men and women, and it's all bad. In my opinion, it starts with verbal abuse. Some people play, and I kind of agree with that. I think
Yeah.
they put you
That's all
down.
facts.
They put you down. They get control, and then um, they go on and continue what they have to do next.
It just escalates from there.
Um, it's crazy that, like we said before, men are probably thinking, oh, we're only going to be talking about men abusing women.
Right.
Nope.
Well, this is vice versa.
Because it could come from any direction.
Mhm.
It can come from anywhere, and it can come from anyone. You know, yes, it probably happens more from your spouse, but it can come from a family member. It can come from a boss,
Even a friend.
even a best friend.
Mhm. A best
Um,
friend.
yeah,
Yep, sure can.
this, yeah, the
Yeah.
thing that is,
This is the person you trusted with your all. Of course, whatever they have to say is already validated because you have already given them that key. Yep.
yes,
You're right,
yes.
Rebecca. That's my bestest of best friends growing up. That's my baby right there.
Um, makes you feel special. Don't
That's
Vintage.
my
take
baby
advantage.
there.
Yes, definitely. And Betsy, mental was worse for me, and sometimes I would think it would just hit me and shut up.
Mm.
And I know that's awful, but it was my life.
Yeah, that mental. Ugh.
And you even said that too. Like that mental was harder.
It cuts deeper because it affects you,
Mhm.
and it you hear those words because I still hear 'em.
It's okay, baby. It's okay, baby. While you get your thoughts together, we are going to move on to exploitation. Exploitation occurs when a vulnerable adult, his or his resources. This is when you hear, um, this happened to like my grandmother. This is when you hear that somebody calling an old person asking for like their credit card number to help
Yeah,
them buy a magazine, knowing damn well they ain't buying no damn magazine. Or help me out, help this charity out. My grandmother, they cut her credit cards up.
it cut
That
'em
woman
up.
knew her numbers, but they took advantage of her. Um, and then we also have the exploitation that is a deliberate maltreatment, manipulation, abuse of power, control of that other person, taking advantage of that person. Some other examples: human trafficking,
Yeah,
slavery, forced labor, being controlled by a person or a group. This is other ways of exploitation. While we're talking about this, is a good time to post this. I want you to know the phone numbers. Like I said, not just domestic, because I want to talk about human trafficking because human trafficking is out of this world right
it's
now.
$1 billion business right now. Exploitation, and it's sickening.
I
It is
have friends in St.
sickening.
Louis scared because there are women getting yanked by a van in St. Louis and you don't see them again. They're gone. And they're getting younger women,
Babies.
teenagers, teenagers, young teenagers. Um, and it's hard because there are so many organizations trying to help with human trafficking, and they said if they don't find them within the first 48 hours,
They're pretty much
they're basically gone.
Yep, basically.
Like they cannot. It becomes a miracle to find um if you find them again.
Or if they do find them years later, they're so messed up.
Mhm.
Like the Elizabeth Smart,
Yeah.
they found her months later. Or the girl, oh my God, I forgot her name. I'm so sorry. They found her in the backyard. She had like 3 kids. And they snatched her up when she was young. It was a husband and wife. And they were
Mhm.
keeping the girl in the backyard. I think they had her since she was like 9 or 10 years old. And she had like 3 or 4 kids by the husband. And she was grown, like almost grown, if not grown, almost grown when they found her.
Mhm.
And I think it was like a neighbor or somebody who had like seen her ripping the plastic or something and seen them back there and called the police. It wasn't like the girl like ran off and be like, oh my God,
Yeah.
somebody help me. Somebody saw and called the police.
That's like I think was that story the man kidnapped the three women. They were girls and had them for years. And I think we remember that story because the neighbor, his interview was
Cause the little girl
amazing.
runs in the black man's arms. It's not funny, but the
Is
interview
that
was
funny? But
funny.
it was such a great interview. Like he brought happiness to a
Bad
negative,
situation.
very,
Yeah.
very bad situation. But they talked about how they even though they were locked up for years, they don't talk to each other because it was like a forced friendship.
Yeah.
Um, Meek put this: the media doesn't talk about the millions of missing teenagers in America. As a father, I pay attention because I be damn, I go to prison for a Kool-Aid smile over mine.
I
And,
know
and
that.
I agree.
I'll, I'll be showing all my teeth, baby. I mean,
You
and
know,
I done killed everybody.
they'll snatch you right out of your arms. They and you know
Yeah.
what? I'm in a Denton group, which I'm in like I'm in northern Dallas. I'm in a Denton group, and it's for moms. And it was a woman saying that she was being she was being followed through Walmart, and it was an older white guy, and he had her like holding her cart at one point in time. My whole thing is that couldn't have been me though, because I would have snatched Tariq up so quickly and found something to knock over this dude's head if it wasn't the cart itself.
Right.
Because you get adrenaline
Yeah.
in that situation, and I would have took every adrenaline. And I understand that you might freeze because you're trying to think, okay, what to do, what to do, what to do. But if he is at the end of your cart and your child is right there in front of you,
He
I'm
finna get
running you.
string beans to the forehead.
I'm you women, like you said, use the aisle as your weapon.
I'ma
But this
scream,
man,
and he finna get some canned goods.
but this man was smart. He found her in the bread. I still would have knocked him upside the head with the loaf.
Baby.
I mean
I'd have been
that
I'd have
car.
been choking him with a loaf of bread.
Something. Dump the bread out and put it over. We fighting.
I'm talking
We
about.
doing something. But women, if this happens to you, she did it right. She did go to the front. She told somebody. They walked her out. The police were called. They drove off immediately when the police got there. Because she made sure they left before she left, and then she didn't even go home. She said she took some routes, like some
Just in case they
just
follow.
in case. Um, but women, if you are in the store and you feel, even men too, because well, men might like the women. It depends on the woman what she look like. If she's cute, okay, but she might be crazy still. Not saying. But if you feel somebody enough and they're hitting every turn that you're hitting,
Right along with you. You know
and
something ain't right.
you stop, and then you see they stop and start looking at something, start grabbing stuff that you can just start throwing. You can pay for, they ain't gonna charge you for breaking it because you over here trying to save your life. Um, don't make it obvious that that you're following them. That that they're following you. Um, like you said, you could find a police officer, find somebody that works there. Act like you're calling a friend. Call 911. Just say, hey, girl, I just stopped at Walmart. Play it off. Um, but we've seen it too much. Any store, like I said, you have to you exactly when you feel
Yeah.
eyes on you, you can feel the present. Yes, better listen to your spirit. My
Mhm.
Mike, Dex, Dre, Phil, my husband, my gut, Brian, my gut tells me things. And I listen and I tell him, like, yo, my gut is telling me
Something ain't right.
something ain't right. I get from them, yeah, 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 whatever, whatever, blah, 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 blah. And boom.
There it is.
My gut, I listen to my gut now that I'm even older. And that's what it is. They start looking for somebody that are occupied on their phone.
They're not paying attention, and
Yeah,
that's another reason.
exactly.
Like if I'm in the phone, like if I'm in the store, or even now, I make a conscious effort to put my phone up. Like if I'm walking around Walmart, like if I'm with Dix, I'm be on my phone. But if I'm
Hmm.
by myself, I make a
Mm-mm.
conscious effort to be off of my phone, because if you're not paying attention, or if you have your phone in your hand, you're easier target. And that's, I tell my girls the same thing because they walk the dogs. Yeah, we're in a gated community, but do not be on your phone. Have one
Mm-mm.
earphone out so you can hear what's going on around you. And if anything happens, you call and you let us know where you are. And I'll jump off third floor if I got to get to my babies.
Mm-hmm.
What I tell my girls that, and I'm practicing that more by staying off my phone when I'm by myself. Because yeah, I ain't no easy win, but I'm not trying to be no target either.
I like to be on the phone, um, like with a friend, my mom. I like to be on the phone, so if I feel that presence, they know I'll say something like, "Yo, this dude's following me. I need you to call the local police," and so I could tell them, we could play this off. You could be put them on three-way. You could do that.
Mm-hmm.
You could have your friend put them on three-way. But that's why I like to have somebody on the phone with me. So in case something happens, they know
No,
what's
or if
going
you got to
on.
be on the phone, use hands free. Don't have the phone like to your head. You know, some
Mhm.
folks be FaceTiming and all that stuff
Mm-mm.
while
I'm
they on the
hands
phone.
free.
Hands free, baby. When you walking around, hands free. You can still talk on the phone, but you can look around and be aware about what's going on.
I'll walk around the store with earphones in my ear, and sometimes I won't even be on the phone.
Yeah.
You, as long as you think I'm on the phone, that's all that needs to all needs to be said, because you don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah, I've noticed also these manipulators, these people for exploitation, they know they're victims. So if they're trying to grab you for human trafficking, they're probably not grabbing a big girl. I'm not, I'm just being honest.
Hey,
They're grabbing someone that they can pick up and yoke up in 2.2 seconds
Hmm.
and get up out Dodge. Unless they're pulling up beside you in a van, make sure you're always locked. Um, Betsy, yes, we do, and I think
I
we
love
are going to do that. But we are going to talk about it individually um, in a little bit. But they know they're victims. So women, if you're skinny, you're kind of, will keep something on you. Mace, pocket knife. If you're in Texas, they just legalized you carrying brass knuckles. You think it's a joke? I've been looking at like four of them. My
it.
husband's like, for what? I'm like, cause I be going to the store for by myself. I need
okay.
something. I do have a pocket knife that I don't carry with me that I could carry with me. Of course, we are, you can carry legally here. Um, but not everybody likes guns. No, but you got to have something. I told
Yeah,
my I,
nowadays
nowadays you got to have something.
you
I
gotta
told
stay
my sister,
strapped with something.
I told my sister-in-law, I was like, if you better have something. You in New York City,
Oh yes.
you need something. Box cutters, razors.
Some.
That's the Kansas City side coming out of Bryan. Um, where I was from, and probably y'all saw too. They carried the razor blades underneath the tongue, so in
Yep.
case something pop off, and go
Put
about
it
your
right
business.
back in the put it right in the
Go about
cheek.
your go right back your business, and just like nothing happened. Um, but yeah, you protect yourselves, ladies and gentlemen,
And
because
gentlemen,
and
they
gentlemen
snatching me, they
protect.
smashing the boys and men too.
Yes, but let's go on. We're going to go on to neglect. Neglect, signs of neglect: failing health, hungry, thirsty, unsanitary conditions. And I think this hits on the story that you were talking about and the story that I brought up. The story in California. Was it California? That was like a family of it was like five kids and they didn't know what year it was
Oh,
because they were chained
yeah,
to the
they were
bed
chained. Yeah,
and they
that
couldn't go
was
outside and they
wild.
and they escaped and that's how they finally got it.
I think like one escaped
Yeah. And that
and brought someone to where they were, and they were all chained. They didn't know the year. They didn't know who the president was. They didn't know anything. They just knew how to eat,
mhm.
sleep, and talk. That's it. It was oh, that was sad.
Yeah, this one is, like I said, this one I think happens to more our older community. I'm not saying, and you do see kids, running around in filth. Um, this happens to our disabled community as well. Um, People that can't fend for themselves, um, who can't, sometimes they can't reach out because they might not have a phone or know how to dial a phone, or that person is keeping a phone away from them.
Yep.
They might be, when it comes back to the mental and physical, well, the mental, they probably keep telling them, I'll clean up later, or I'll give you your medicine
Right.
in a little bit.
Or they were like, well, if I'm not going fast enough for you, you can do it yourself, knowing that that person is not capable of doing it. You know, Meemaw can't sweep the floor.
Mm-hmm.
She can't sweep, mop, vacuum, and all that stuff. She can't do that. Well, if I'm not going fast enough, then you can do it yourself,
Mm-hmm.
knowing that they can't. And I've been in dialysis 4 years since 2009, and I have heard horror stories because they know that people, oh, that's the patient. You're not supposed to get close to them and woo this
Mm-hmm.
and woo that. But you see these people 3 times a week. You see them for hours a day. Sometimes you see these
Mm-hmm.
people more than their family members do. And if someone is coming in for the second week with the same clothes on, with the same blood stain they got last week, their wigs cocked to the side and it's got bugs and everything else, you gotta
Mm-hmm.
say something.
Mm-hmm.
And at this time, they're no longer a patient. They are still a human being.
Yes.
And I have seen so much neglect. And it's crazy. And it's just like they just they take their check and just give them Vienna sausages and a couple wife beaters a month. And then they take their money and go about their business. They bills almost get cut off. They wait and they only pay the minimum to keep their money. And it's really sad that, like you said, most of that happens to the elderly.
Yep.
And it's so sad and it's just disgusting to see what people will do just for a little piece of change. My mom, her social security is not that much. So why would you take everything and leave her like $15 for a whole month? Like that's that for one, that's financial abuse also with
Mm-hmm.
neglect. Because you're not taking care of her. You're not cleaning the house. You're not feeding her. She's coming in starving. Like it was some patients I was bringing food to. If I had leftovers, I brought food and was like, that was because I knew, like, at least for that day, at that time,
Yep.
they got a meal. And it was, I've got fussed at so many times. I got written up. You know, you're not supposed to feed them. You're not supposed to have it. Not, but I don't want to hear it. At that moment, right then, I know that Miss So and so and so and so, or Mr. So and so and so and so, got a meal. And it's so sad. And it's like, you tell the social worker, they'll send somebody out there. The family will be there that one day.
Yep.
They'll clean up that one day. So then it makes it look like you crazy.
Yeah. Nikki, you got anything to add to that one?
No, I do not.
Okay, so we are going to go on to this, and this is what we talked about: self neglect, self abuse. Um, we're going to throw it all in one. Self neglect is, a vulnerable person fails to provide adequately for themselves. Um, and we're going to throw in self abuse on this one as well because they are telling themselves, well, it'll be okay the next day, or I'll clean up the next day, or I'll clean up an hour, and then the hour rolls by. Then they're still laying there. Um, Hoarders kind of fall under this self neglect because they're living in a lifestyle that, unfortunately, a lot of, if you watch hoarders, then most of them went through a traumatic experience, and it's a mental issue, and they are trying to cope with their trauma by hoarding everything. They might have a particular thing that they hoard.
Yeah.
Some people hoard dolls, some people hoard newspapers. I've seen canned goods. I've seen, we all seen the trash,
Oh yeah. Trash one.
animals. Um,
It makes them feel better. It
mhm,
kind of like a comfort
mhm,
thing because I watch Waters. That's one of my
mhm.
favorite shows. And it's like when they have to go through it and have to, start to get rid of it. It's like some of them have a reaction like their mother just passed.
Yeah.
And it's like they can't do it because everything has such significant value to them because they've used it for self comfort for so long that it has become a piece of them. And it's interesting.
Mhm.
I'm like, wow. But
Um, if anybody's near Mike Linson, just knock him upside his head.
we go beat now
It's
tacos.
not
I
working.
Everyone
hoard.
loves tacos. Come
I
on now.
hoard. Everybody loves tacos. I think we all
I love
hoard tacos.
tacos.
I think we all hoard
It's not
tacos.
hoarding if you're eating them.
Exactly. Um,
Well,
but like
I
I
can say
said,
a lot on self neglect
mhm.
because
You see it.
as y'all see, very. I didn't start off like this.
Yeah.
When I was married, I was not like this. It got to the point where the only comfort I had was what I cooked.
Mhm.
I no longer cared about myself. I would eat until my stomach hurt. Stomach stopped hurting. I eat some more till it hurt again. Because that's all I had. I felt worthless. Being told basically all day long that you're no one's gonna love you. Just look at you. No one's gonna love you. I'm the only person in the world that's ever gonna love you. Look, your family don't call. They don't come by to see you. They do that. That was a whole other thing because I was isolated. I'm the only one that's gonna love you, and don't nobody else wants you. And then after a while, I had no friends. I had coworkers,
Mhm.
but just to call and be like, "Hey, girl, let's go hang out." Type of
Mhm.
situations, I didn't have that. So he was the only person that I had to talk to. He was the only person that I really had communication with. And so after hearing that all day, all day, it's like that's all I did. It's like I just didn't care about myself anymore. I didn't. I wouldn't say I wasn't bathed because that's nasty. I did that, but like the self care things, like going out to spas and the masks and the treatments, doing things for yourself to help uplift yourself. I didn't do that. It's like I just wrapped at that moment. I just wrapped myself into protecting my children, and I no longer cared about myself. I didn't care what I looked like. I didn't care what my hair looked like. I
Mm-hmm.
didn't care about anything because I meant nothing to myself.
Yeah.
Because for so long I was treated like I was nothing and talked to like I was trash. So then you just start to feel like I'm just here. I'm just surviving on this earth because I have two children. It's like the only reason why I'm here. So I'm just gonna live just a little bit, just to do enough for myself to keep my heart beating, just for them.
My home
And
girl Angel
that was my day.
just comment on this. Listening to your story. That's what the abuser wants you to think. Nobody wants you, and that's why the mental abuse you found comfort in food.
Mhm.
Um, we tend to let ourselves go because we think about our children and their happiness, and at the end of the day, it's the women and children that suffer.
And they did. My children suffered, and I suffered until I got the courage
Hmm.
and the strength to get out. Because I really don't think that I would have made it to 2020 if I would have stayed there.
But you made it. That's
I
why I
wouldn't be
love
here.
you. That's
But
why I'm happy you got out and you found a way and you found the strength. Um, Before we go on again, I'm gonna post this. Um, Different numbers that you need. I'm posting them all. I'm posting it all night because you don't know. Like I said, somebody might need this.
Everybody should be screenshotting that right now. You don't never know who
me,
or when it's going to be needed.
screenshots on deck. But
Okay.
I smile for the screenshot. Like I'm
Yeah.
doing live. Smile for the screenshot. Post for the screenshot.
And it,
No. Oh, no. But if you're in my group, speak it to an existence. This is in the group. I posted it once before. I will bump it so it can be brought up again. So again, if you need to screenshot it, you can. Do you need to add anything else to self neglect? You two, either one of you?
No, because I'm trying to stay on the dry side of life.
Okay. Well, we're gonna go to financial because sweet baby Jesus, and financial abuse. Those financial abusers, you don't even realize they're doing it.
You know,
And my story is, I was inflicting, I was self neglecting and financial abusing myself. I'm trying to get my stuff together as we speak. But I maxed out credit cards. All my credit cards are maxed out, and some of them are maxed out because I just wanted to make sure that my husband got the best gift because, of course, he's the breadwinner. So if I didn't put on a credit card, I couldn't afford birthday gifts. You know, our money is tight. Um, I bought him some other gifts, their biggest when I did have some money here and there. But after that, I maxed out credit cards to make, even though he never asked me for it. You know what I'm saying? This wasn't, he told me, I want those pair of Jordans. No, no, no. It wasn't like that. It was because I felt guilty that he can do all this great stuff for me. and I wanted to take care of him as much as he takes care of me. So I maxed out everything. I have like 4 cards maxed out in 3 year time.
Well, I'm on the other end of that spectrum because I was the one that worked. He was too sick to work. He had osteoarthritis. He had rods in his neck. He has double knee replacements. So he got disability.
Hmm.
So he could not unable to work. He had that on the paperwork,
Hmm.
and so I worked. He got disability. He paid the rent and whatever little small bills, and I worked. We had third shift, so I worked from 10 to 16 hours a day. And so I left the house 4:30ish, 5. Didn't get home till 9, 10, sometime 11 o'clock, depending on when the latest patient got off. And so I was never at home. And all my money went to a pay card.
Hmm.
I didn't have the pay card. He had the pay card because guess what? When I get off work, it's hard to pay bills because everything is closed. So he kept the card. And so to me, that really was no big deal. Bills were getting paid. Then all of a sudden, things getting cut off. Why the lights ain't coming on? Oh, I had to pay this, or I had to pay that, and we just gotta we'll pay. I'll borrow some money from somebody, and we this is not adding up. Like, why are these bills not being paid? And he was taking the money and was spending it on other women. And I'm working. And I was getting phone calls because he was supposed to pay the car notes. The car note was like 100 something, like every 2 weeks. I had refinanced the car, everything, because we had fell behind. And so I ask him every week. Every time I get paid, you pay the car note? Yeah, I paid the car note. I never asked for receipts because guess what?
You trusted him.
And so I get a call. I'm at work. I usually don't answer my phone at work. Oh, this is so and so and so and so with the car company, and we were just wondering when your next payment is going to be. Excuse me. I said, oh, that's supposed to be paid. No, we talked to Anthony Brown, and he said that he was going to pay it, but it's been like 83 days overdue. Excuse me. So what he had done was I was not getting. So I said, well, I'm not getting any notifications about this or anything. Well, the email that we have on file is blah 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 blah. That's not the email I gave y'all. I said the email and the phone number that I gave y'all was mine. Only reason why she had called mine because I was a mercy contact. How am I a mercy contact on my own call? That's a whole nother that's a whole nother conversation.
Hmm.
He had called, and since he was my spouse, he changed all the emails to his email.
Wow.
All of the numbers to his number. So I was not getting any calls. He was. He was talking to the people. Was not paying the car notes. Was taking all of the money, doing this, that, and the other with it. And it was crazy. And he took, when I say every dime I had, I couldn't even have silver change in my purse. I would wake up in the morning and money would be out of my purse. And I would say something to him. Like, why does I had to put some gas in the car. I had to do this. It's always something that he had to do. And he never kept, like, we never had a full tank of gas. It was either a half a tank or under. So if I wanted to get up and take the kids and go, I couldn't go to nothing but the gas station because that's just how much gas he kept in the car. Like almost every day, we had to put gas in the car.
My OCD won't even let me go past half a tank for real. Like
And
it something it
and
bothers me when it goes past half.
and when I would try to take it back, well, I would take the card back. Like everybody was like, "Why you ain't take the card back?" I would not get any peace. It's like sometimes you let things go on just to get peace because I got taught to so bad. I just wanted peace. I couldn't sit on the toilet without an argument if I did something that he did not like. If if I just wanted to go get my nails done, I had to set money. It had to be planned like it was a planned event. It had gotten so bad that I had started taking the money out of my check and keeping it at work so I would have money because if I had a dime, he took 9 cents up, and it had gotten really bad. And when I just got tired of it, I called the card company, said it was stolen, got a card sent. I had to send it to my job. That's how I got my card back. I sent it to my job. And that was an argument every night. And then all of us, because I wouldn't give him the card for nothing, even for gas. When I got paid, I filled the card up. And his favorite line was, "Oh, so now you finna treat me like a bitch."
Yes.
That was his favorite line. I said, "Oh, so that's how you was treating me when you would take the money and not give me a dime, or you had to pay everything?" Oh, then it got to, "Oh well, since you want to be the man, I'm not finna do nothing." That's what I went through every day. All of a sudden, then he stopped shopping. He stopped going to the grocery store. So if I got off at 10 o'clock at night, I had to find a 24-hour Walmart to go buy some food and cook that night. Because he wouldn't do anything because he was mad because I took the card back.
I would rather
And
have that situation. He'll mad at me, but you know what? I know where my car is. I'm okay, even though I'm tired. And as a mother, you're okay. You'll be happy to cook. Because your child is taken care of. You're not
yeah.
gonna let your child, even though they might be hungry at that point, you're still gonna go above and beyond when you get home to make sure they're
And he
good.
would use the girls. "Oh, you ain't gonna leave the money here, so you would rather your kids be hungry. You want your kids to be hungry, waiting on you to get. What kind of mother are you that you allow your kids to be hungry?" You know, things like that. And it's like, well, you're not doing what you're supposed to do. And
Michelle
like,
just posted this. I'm so sorry. Um,
that's my other bestie. Love you, Michelle.
Go ahead, read your bestie.
Thank you for this. I've had someone just abuse every aspect of my life where they controlled everything. They controlled the money, how I ate, always being watched by family members, not having friends, controlling me mentally and having me rely on him for everything. I got out of it, thank God, when I'm still working on me. That, that right there, that was my life. That was everything I did, I was watched.
Hmm.
He even watched the likes I got on my Facebook pages. He would count comments. He would go through my friends list. Even on my Instagram, I'm so glad that Instagram got rid of that little tab where they tell you like what pictures and stuff they you commented on and like
Hmm.
your friends. I was
Yes.
so glad they got rid of that because it had gotten to the point where anyone that I had commented on their picture or if I had liked their post, and that page wasn't public, he would friend them just to see who I was talking to or what comments were on there. It got to the point where I just was not liking anyone's pictures on Instagram unless it was somebody that he knew. He would go through my comments. Who is this? Who is? But that's for the whole other.
Yeah, that's
That's for
next.
whole other abuse. Because
That's
like I said,
next.
I went through a lot of, and the financial abuse. I could not have a dime to my name.
Mm.
The money, everything. My children couldn't have any money. Like if I gave them money, he would go in their rooms and he would take it. Oh, I'll give it. We'll get it back. We'll get it back to you. We'll give it back to you. Yeah, he probably owe my kids now about $400-500 from how much he's taken from them and said he's going to give back. Like
Um,
no one
yeah.
was able to have a dime.
Nikki, you want to
And
add anything? I'm so sorry.
that's
I thought you were done. My
girl,
bad.
I can talk on this. All, I'm telling you all day because I've been through some stuff.
Hmm.
Nothing to add over here.
Okay, so I want to talk to some ladies. If and gentlemen, if you're in this situation and you're trying to leave this um environment, try to make a safety plan, and you might have to set aside some money in a secret location, and it might not be a secret location at your house. You might have to do some secret locations of a secret location somewhere else. If you have a family member that you can trust, a friend, a boss, some bosses at their jobs have a safe, you know, maybe you can put money like, hey, I need to put this in there. And they might, and people will understand. There's a lot of programs that'll help. Um, there's a lot of programs out there. This next one was basically what she just spoke about on Instagram, digital dating abuse. And it sounds weird because you don't really think about it, but it happens. It's the use of technology such as texting and social media to bully, harass, stalk. Um, I never thought about it, but you can use social media to keep tabs on you,
Yep,
steals your passwords.
yep.
Betsy, if you're still listening, people sending those unwanted illicit pictures that you received. Um, they're tagging you in different things that you didn't want, and it's abusive. Um, using any kind of technology to monitor you.
And I went through that also. He demanded my password for my, because at the Vita we have a login that you
Hmm.
can log in from home, which they have changed now, and I'm so glad they did that. He would monitor when I clocked in and clocked out, how much money my check was, where it was going. He knew everything. And when I refused to give him the password, he wouldn't let me sleep. Like literally, would not let me sleep. We arguing. Well, you just ain't where you supposed to be. How am I not at work when you take me to work and you pick me up, but I'm not at work? And things like that. And when I did drive, he would see what time I clocked in and see what time I clocked out. And if I was not home within 15 minutes, he's calling me. Why you ain't home yet? You just got off work. Why you ain't at home yet? Woo this or woo that. I went through that for years until I just got tired and I stopped. I stopped giving it to him because it's just, I stopped giving it to him. And it was a hellish week. I don't think I slept for 3 days and I was still going to work.
I don't know how you're doing it.
Right.
And it when you're isolated
Hmm.
and you have no one. I was in Shreveport, Louisiana, no family. Yes, my family was 2, 3 hours away, but my mother was living with someone else.
Mm-hmm.
And my cousin, he is sick. Mom, if y'all are watching, I'm sorry. Because some of these things y'all did not know I was going through. And for that, I do apologize. Because I did not want that monster to possibly hurt
Yeah.
y'all.
Mm-hmm.
So I used myself. I threw myself on the sword. I felt as I was protecting my children and I was protecting my family.
Of course.
Because if he was that unstable with me and I was his wife, he wouldn't give a damn about anyone else. So I took those blows because I felt I was protecting y'all. I didn't have any money. So if I did want to go somewhere to a hotel or run away or fill the car up and just just throw my stuff in the car and go, I could not do that. He made sure the bank accounts were dry. I had nothing. He ruined my credit. I couldn't get credit cards. And so I basically was stuck. I could not do anything. And back to the digital dating.
Yeah, digital dating. It was interesting to look into
He
this.
would text me. I'll be at work. He would text me. If I did not text him back, or at least reply,
Mm-hmm.
he would then hit me on Messenger on Facebook. If I did not reply then, he would send me a message on Instagram. If I did not reply then, he would hit me up on Snapchat. If
Mm-mm.
I did not reply then, he would call my job. It's 6 o'clock in the morning. I am at work. I'm trying to put a patient on. And one day I sat right there with me and my coworkers and sat there and watched my phone go from text to IM to Snapchat to DM. And I said he's about to call. And then he will call the builder. And she just sat right there and said, Kim, I don't know how you put up with that. And I said, you know what? It's not going to be much longer. And that was every day. If I was at home and I would be sitting on the couch, like playing the game. I used to love to play Paradise Bay when they had Paradise Bay. If and he just be yapping, arguing and everything. If I don't pay any attention, he'll send me a some on a little IM. It'll pop up on my screen. I know you hear me talking to you. Cause like he just used the internet and all that just to get to me. And if he knew that that's how he could get to me. And even when I left him, he still did it. I have over 500 emails from this man threatening my life, threatening my children's life, saying that he wish he never met me, wish he never had wish he never had the kids, and he would throw dirt on our graves.
Hmm.
I have those. Where he was saying that he hopes that I would never find love. He hoped that me and Dex would never become anything, and that now he has a job and he is able to pay for this. And he's, oh yeah, he don't got a job, y'all. What?
After he couldn't do it for how many years?
Since 2009.
Yeah, because I'm disabled. I do get a disability check. I pay what I need. I can pay. Um, but I don't. Like I said, I take care of my son, so that's my job. I still do something that helps. Um, but back to digital dating. Um,
No.
like I said, you have these people that tell you you can't be friends with this person because this person, whatever the case may
Yeah.
be, um, stalking you, stalking the likes, stalking comments.
Comments, likes, counting friends. He be like, oh, you got 3 new friends today. Like, God damn, you watching how many friends I get? Like, everything. thing. He would,
And
if I got friends with somebody, that's why I'm glad Facebook stopped that too. Like they say, well, so and so and so and so just became friends. He would
yeah,
go and become their friend just to see what we're talking about on their comments.
yeah,
Like,
that's what it was. I was happy when they got rid of that. See with your friends. I never
yes,
used it. I'm not a jealous person, so if I did see if my husband, if my husband did like something, I would just like, okay, whatever. But I know there are people out there that were stalking their significant other because of that situation right there. You can see whatever they just did within the last like 3 or 4 minutes that
yeah,
you went on. I've heard women dealing with a guy and all of a sudden it became, well, you got to cut off all your male friends. Anybody, I just met you on the internet. Like we hadn't even met. Like how am I supposed to cut off somebody that I really, 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 really physically know for somebody that I just met on the internet 2 hours ago?
oh yeah.
Um,
I went through all of that too. Like any person, like if and it was really hard when they started doing the reactions, like the little smiley face, the laughing and the heart and
mhm,
everything. Anybody that hearted one of my pictures, I got a message about that. Who is so and so and so and so? Why they hearting your pictures? Like I can't have, and I say that's my friend, so I don't know them. I lived in Chicago most of my life, so it's gonna be some folks on my page that you don't know.
exactly.
So get over it. It's like any friend that I had to explain to him. Like the only friend that I had that I would not, it was no conversation about, is my friend Alex. I've known Alex for 20 years.
Mhm.
There's no conversation about Alex. Like he pop up every now and then. Alex has even come to my house when I was pregnant with a kid. Like that's somebody I would not have any type of conversation with. That's my best friend, and he's in my life.
Yeah.
Like we have almost come to blows over someone who has been my friend for 20 years. Like, bro, really?
Mhm.
And so that's what I went through every day for years. And it had gotten to the point where I just was afraid to add people to my friend list. Like anytime my IM message pop up, who's actually talking to? What y'all talking about? It got to the point where I had to mute my phone. Like if I'm talking to somebody, who is that?
And
What
this
y'all
right
talking about?
here, this comment right here by Betsy, some women are real abusers when it comes to social media.
Yeah, women are abusive too.
Baby, boy, you hear,
Say it again.
you hear, woo, you
Say
hear
it
it.
again.
You know,
And they
you,
think it's cute. And I tell women that
yeah,
too. That is not cute.
it's
That is abusive.
not.
Don't nobody owe you nothing. Somebody can have a friend online. Who is that? Why you liking her pictures? You post pictures on Instagram for people to like them.
Exactly. Why we posting pictures then?
You post a picture for somebody to like it. And that's so crazy to me. That's a baby. That's crazy.
Why even have, why be on Instagram? Why be on any social media platform?
If you don't want nobody to like nothing.
You know, I really dislike those type of women because we have had those type of women in our inbox if you were single at one point in time because you liked a picture. I had a woman because I help run a couple different networks. I have a baseball network that I help run at one point in time, and then I have this one, my baby, and so I um had the guy's fiance, I guess she's a wife now, come up to me and what do you know him? Like she's speaking to me in Spanish, and I'm telling her because I only speak Spanish to people I know because it's so horrible. Amy is one of my people that we speak Spanglish. We're very Spanglish conversations. Um, uh, but I would talk to. She was speaking all Spanish, but basically she was saying like, "How are you friends with my husband?" My whole thing is he's my business partner. That's all he is. He's only a business partner. And she's like, "Are you sure?" Mira.
Say, mira, mira.
Like, for real. Facts, Spanglish. Like, mira.
Mira.
Like, mira, mira. Listen, I do not want your man. Trust me. My husband's back here. Looks way better than him. Every time I tag him in a post, it's baseball related. It's nothing like, you know,
What y'all
I'm
doing
cute.
tonight?
No, no, it's nothing like that. It is a baseball related. This show is about to be on at this time, or his show is about to be on at not even my show. His show is on. Yo, I even went up. I went into his inbox so quick. Get your girl
Por
before I
favor.
do. And I said, I'm coming to you nicely because we business partners. But if she wasn't your people, it would have been way ugly. And she wasn't cheating on him. The chick was like, she's got to be like 18, 19 years old.
That
Like
baby young.
she's
She's so
like,
happy she got a man.
she's probably like 21. She's probably actually like 21, but she looks mad young. So what I'm finding out is he met her in DR. So I'm not for sure if he met her online on DER, like through, something and he met, or because I know he goes over there periodically. So I don't know how they exactly met, but the dude's my age and she's like I said, 21. And she looks like a baby. So she's protecting her investment to get this green card. So I get it. So I get it.
She ready
But
to get them
boo,
papers.
yeah, because if you see the pictures, I thought me and my husband were opposites attract. I ain't trying to judge, but woo, the situation don't even look believable. Like she's a really beautiful girl. I'm not saying, she's not, but it's just the both. She trying to get them papers. See, see, Ames. That's why she my little pit bull, aka that's my sister right there. That's how I feel. Um, but yeah, she was all up in my inbox, all up at, and then I know she probably went into his afterwards. And she's like, I'm not trying to come to you negative. Then you wouldn't have came to me at all. You would have asked your mans who I was. You wouldn't have asked me.
She hit you with that Barbara this Shirley.
Yeah. I'm not trying to be I'm not trying to come to you wrong, but I just want to know. No.
Ask your man.
Exactly. Um, but like I said, we've all been there. If you've been single on some type of social media platform and you just liked a man's picture, or even just talking to him, and then all of a sudden here come Becky over here, or Wakanda. That's her nickname because that's what she probably looked like up in your inbox. Like, why you just messing with my man, bruh?
Yeah, that's sad. You
You
can't have a
know,
conversation with somebody on a picture without their girlfriend or whoever popping up in the conversation. They got something to say. Like we know you here. Hey, boo boo, we see you. We know y'all together. You ain't got to make your presence felt in our
exactly.
conversation.
Betsy, if you're still listening, I think you said you had a good one. You had a good story. If you were still listening, some woman got in her inbox about something, and she She basically said, I think she told somebody like they were sleeping together, even though they weren't sleeping together, because she just got tired of the chick in her inbox. Like they were just friends, and she just finally said, "Yeah, we're sleeping together." You know,
It is what it is.
it gets to that point. Like, when is enough, women? And like I said, we know men do this,
Mm,
but I have seen women just come at your throats.
Women are worse.
yeah, they really are. They like little savages
I don't
in
take
that
Facebook.
inbox.
I don't take Facebook or social media that serious in the first place. So if someone come up and tell me Karam is in my inbox, yep, Betsy just said she sure did. Yep, I remember that conversation. I died. But if they tell me Karam's in my inbox, let me tell you a story about Karam. He's barely on social media.
Barely.
Barely. He got mad at us last week that we tagged him more than 2 times in our post about the
Tell him I'm
show.
sorry.
It wasn't even your fault. It was just because you know if it gets reshared, he got hostile. I was on the phone with Dex and I was like, you hear that, Dex? Do not tag him more. That's the introvert in him. It wasn't even you. It wasn't even this show. It was Dex's show that I tagged him in. Got hostile. I stopped tagging him. I didn't stop tagging him in all my posts. Like it got bad. But like I said, if you come in my inbox and telling me something about my husband, there's only 3 people he talks to that's probably not muted on Facebook. And I'm pretty sure I'm muted because my husband is that bad. Like he's horrible.
His own wife.
His own wife. If I'm not muted, it's the talk with me and Brian are not muted. And Dex is not muted because they talk about computers. But other than that, other than that, it's bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, please don't come in my inbox telling me my husband's doing something because I already
Cause you a
know
lie.
it's a lie.
You a whole lie, man.
Yeah, because he don't even hardly talk to Amy, and then Amy be texting me, I just want to talk to him about some shoes. Where is he? So she'll end up just calling him, but he ignores everybody. He ignores everybody. His introvert is strong.
Hilarious. This Dracula.
It's
Drag.
Mr. Dracula. It's strong. Like you thought, y'all dealing with some strong.
Yeah,
He
he
is mute.
almost like that.
His mute game is. If you don't hear from him right away, it's probably because you're muted. I'm just gonna keep it real, keep it 100. You have to tag him, and so he can actually see the comment. So it actually pop up.
Hilarious. Hilarious.
Anything you want to add, Nikki, before we let go of this show?
I'm just glad social media was not big at the time that I was in the situation that I was
Hmm.
in. Because, honey, I could not imagine the many of fights that would have been had if social media was a big thing at that time. Because, Lord. But yeah, I already said men do it too because their
Yes.
insecurity is an ugly beast. And a lot of times they're portraying their own insecurities, but they're taking it out on you, like you're the one doing stuff when you probably not.
At all.
I'm wholeheartedly glad that Facebook didn't exist. I don't even think MySpace existed at the time. So I'm glad because it would have been so much worse than what it already was.
I lived a nightmare.
I bet.
Oh,
Like I'm sitting here listening to your story, and I'm like, golly, that
I I will post a picture. I did it as an experiment. I took a picture as soon as I got to work. I got to work at 5:45 in the morning. I did my little good morning, posted it. He was on it within 30 seconds. Negro, you are driving home. So you risked your life to comment on this picture that I posted 30 seconds ago.
Mm-hmm.
It's like whenever I posted something, and he will comment, so he will get a notification, so he can go back and read the comments. Everything. I didn't even have to post a picture of myself. I could just post a just a regular status.
Mm-hmm.
Good morning, everyone. Have a great day. He would on them. Hey, you have a great day too, my awesome, beautiful wife. I love you so much.
That's so
Really?
attractive.
I'm like, really?
That face
And it's
right
like,
there, Kim.
Right.
really? Really? It's like I want to delete the whole status.
Yeah.
Like, you just made my status feel sticky now. It don't
On
feel right.
face, not on Facebook, on oh, we were just talking about MySpace. Did it show who liked your stuff? I can't
I
remember.
don't think
I don't
so, because
remember.
my space
I
got
think
shut
it's
down overnight. It's like you just woke up and
it's
it was gone.
and then now it's back because I keep getting emails and I'm like, what? I haven't
Shut
had
up,
yeah, it's
girl.
back.
My
Somebody's
pet
trying to make
probably
it relevant
dead.
again. Yeah, I keep
I
I had
wish
getting
a
I knew what my
I had
password
one of them little
was,
pets.
because that would
That
be
thing
so
probably
much easier
dead
to
now.
get.
have y'all someone asked I have not. Have y'all been the insecure woman looking through stuff of his before? I haven't. Um, I've never done it to any of my boyfriends. Uh, just I feel like if
I
I have
did.
competition, I
I
just
did.
yeah. I never
And
have,
I
you know.
did because
Yeah,
I needed to know what was
yeah.
going on, because I was being watched. So I'm talking about I was in a magnifying glass.
Yeah.
I was in the fishbowl. And I was like, something has to be happening to, and his phone was on Fort Knox. You needed iris scan, a drop of blood, and a fingerprint to get into it.
Mhm.
So whenever I was my matter of fact, my friend Tanya, my road dog, my sis, asked to speak because her phone, she said her phone was broken, couldn't dial out. So she asked to see his phone. So he was like, yeah. So she got the phone and made a phone call to somebody. And while she had the phone, she went through his messages. She took a picture with her phone of the conversation that he was having. It sent them to me. And that's how I was able to get some of his conversations.
Mhm.
And it was low down. And I showed him, oh, that's not the whole conversation. It ain't like that. So you ain't talking about going to the nightclub, this woman right here. Oh, you see right here, we were talking about a dog. Talking about a dog in the club. Okay,
Okay.
whatever.
Yeah. I'm listening. I'm seeing Maggie. She said never felt the need to. I never felt the need to. Um, I feel like I stick by that rule. If you go looking for something, you're gonna find something that you don't want to see. So if I feel like I have to go search through a man's stuff, I dip. Like if I feel that gut, that gut telling me, because more likely your gut is telling you something is wrong before you go searching.
Mm-hmm.
So I have listened to my gut. I have never looked through a guy's stuff. I haven't. Like I'm not saying you shouldn't, but usually you're gonna find what you're looking for.
Well, I went for it. I knew I was gonna find it. I just needed
Yeah.
proof.
Okay.
So
When I did it, I had a reason to.
right. It's not like I was like, oh, I gotta see what he's doing. No,
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
needed this to throw back into
and
his face
it's
to
just
prove to
us.
him
We
so I
need
can do it.
that confirmation.
Right.
Mhm.
You already know. You know what the deal is. But
And
sometimes you need to see that hard ass evidence, because maybe he got a cold mouthpiece and he can tell you every excuse of why something is not the way that it looks. So you know what? Okay, all right. I'm gonna find it
Right. I'm
myself.
finding it for myself. And that's what I want. I needed to
and
find it for myself.
Michael just put up, he doesn't believe me. Let me tell you a story. I know every password to my husband's phone, computer. I had access to his email. I know how to unlock basically almost everything of his. And I knew how to lock almost everything of his before we were even married. So if I wanted to, I didn't have to sneak and do it. I could have just grabbed his phone and said, and looked.
Hmm.
I didn't have to I didn't have to do that. So that's what I'm saying. I never had the need to. Um I never had the nerve, never had the urge. Like I said, it's everybody's different. Because if I was probably in Nikki, Betsy, Kim, Maggie's situation, if I was in different situations, I probably would have, I probably would have did it. If I felt like I was, and I needed that proof, like Nikki just said.
Mike wasn't
Mike
listening.
wasn't listening, obviously.
He ain't never listening.
Obviously, obviously. If I was in that situation, I probably would have. But Nikki just said, say it again,
Yeah.
Nikki.
I needed cold, hard
Yeah.
confirmation
The confirmation.
without him
You
in my
know
ear saying, "No, it's not what it looks like."
they
It's
lying.
this excuse and this excuse and this excuse. So okay, you know what? I'm gonna go look for my damn self, and I'm gonna find what I need to find. So yes, I've been in that situation.
Mm-hmm.
I was 23, 24, 25. Young and dumb, but I sure did.
Y'all know I did. I said I did.
More than more than what I wanted to find. It was horrible, but yeah, I did it. Sure did.
Yeah, but that is the last topic for the evening. I would like to thank each and every one of you that are listening, commenting, that called in. Um, Again, we'll probably be back in 2 weeks. We were supposed to be back in 2 weeks the last time, but you see, our lady up there in the corner just had shoulder surgery, and then I did not want to force her to do it, and I'm glad I didn't because, child,
That would
she
have been
was
funny.
the yeah the
Yeah, last
medicine was
week.
killing in. The medicine was killing in. I was like,
Killing
oh
it.
yeah,
Yes, baby. As y'all see, I've been chopped and screwed all up in
yeah,
here. So yeah, last week it would have been funny. I'd still try
yeah.
to do it,
We
but I'd have
know.
been half
Right.
nodding off. And,
Yeah, yeah.
Adrian.
Yeah, we had an old argument about this. I said, no, we're going to wait. No, we're going to do it. No, we're going to wait. No, we're going to do it. I said, I just went through a surgery and complications happened afterwards. I am not forcing you to do a show 2 days later.
Yeah, because
No.
I still had my big bandage on my shoulder. I couldn't even
Yeah.
put a shirt on. I was
Yeah.
gonna do something.
Yeah. No. No. But thank you. Like I said, thank you everybody for doing the show. We will let everybody know the topic real soon about the next show. Please check us out. We come on the show Thursday nights, 9 p.m. Eastern on Strictly Prohibited Network. That's on Facebook and it's on YouTube. If you are not in my group and you want to join a safe space, please find my group. It is called Speak It Into Existence. We post motivation, we post recipes. If you need somebody to listen to you, tell
We
your
all
story.
listening ears in there. No
Please
judgment
know it's about positivity.
whatsoever.
If you're coming with negative,
Yeah, we do. I'm blocking
You
you.
out.
Phew,
type of group.
boop. You see that? Boop.
All positive vibes only.
Yeah, positive vibes on. I changed. I came in 2020 deciding, what? I don't care what I'm going through. I'm keeping it positive. And I'm going through some things, but you know what? My smile is still here. And so I'm trying to portray what I am trying to show others to be in that group.
Yeah. You have to be a
Um,
mirror for the world to see. So
Yes.
whatever you reflecting, that's what you're gonna get back. So
Mm-hmm.
when you put your mirror out there, make sure you putting your best face forward. Cause whatever you put out there, you're gonna get back.
Exactly.
You put out positive, you will get positive back. You put out negative, you will get negativity back and wonder why hell is running all over your life.
Right.
Because you are bringing the hell to
Yeah.
your doorstep. So just be positive. Be nice. It costs 0.0000 cents to be nice and positive to somebody,
Mm-hmm.
regardless of what you're going through. Y'all heard so many horror stories from me, and I still wake up every day with a smile. And anybody who has ever worked with me has been a patient of mine or a coworker of mine. No, I'm the most bubbly, positive person that you will ever know in your life. All these people did not know when I clocked out, I was walking into hell. They didn't know that because I didn't project that.
Of course. Nikki, you want to say anything?
I'm good.
Positivity 2020. All 2020.
Right.
That's my
Oh,
slogan.
20.
Yeah, that's my slogan for
Oh,
this year cuz
that's it. That's all I
I
want around me.
I'm blocking. You see that? The negativity, like seriously, like I did those Girl Scout cookies. I blocked them.
Girl,
Um,
the devil.
I blocked them. But again, like I said, thank you for listening. Saturday night, we do have the Hodgepodge show. They pushed their show back to 9 p.m. Eastern. They will be on this Saturday on Strictly Prohibited Network. And then on Sunday, Breaking the Stigma, the gentleman. Um, they will be talking. They have their safe space at 8 p.m. Eastern on Sunday nights. That is Dex's baby. Even though Dex doesn't want to hear that, that's Dex's baby. He's probably gonna chime in like 2 seconds, whatever. I think he just flicked me off. And from the producer group, it's okay.
Bite me.
It's his baby. We're gonna
Yeah,
ignore
yeah,
you.
yeah. Whatever.
I'm gonna mute you.
Sunday night, 8 o'clock Eastern. Right here, YouTube, Strictly Prohibited Network, Matt Mike Sports, Facebook, Strictly Prohibited Network. I think I'll put it in speaking to it existence as well. I'm gonna test run it on Twitch as well. Uh, but we're talking about starting the healing process, and it won't just be for men, of course, because as
Women.
we have just had a lovely show. Great, I got a whole lot of cleanup duty to do, by the way. It's not just men who get abused. Women
Mm-hmm.
get abused too, and everyone needs to heal.
Yeah.
And they'll be talking about picking up the pieces and becoming whole again, starting the healing process. So this is kind of like a part one. That'd be like a part two type situation.
Yes.
Nice.
So yeah,
And
but y'all, well, we ain't gonna talk about here. We'll talk about
over there.
Sunday.
And
So
then on Tuesday night is Red Cup Rants. They'll be on at 8 p.m. Eastern. Please check them out. They'll probably be talking about this Wilder Fury fight that every sports fan in the world is waiting on. But again, thank you. Thank you so much for coming in, checking us out, and we will catch you guys in a couple weeks. Peace
Bye.
out.
later.